This Class C RV is the Thor Pasadena model number SE21. The MSRP on it is $127,246, but as you can see, you can get it for well under $80,000. The gross vehicle weight rating is 12,500 pounds, cargo carry capacity is 2,600 pounds, and the gross combined weight rating is 18,500 pounds. It measures in at 24 feet 1 inch long. Tow capacity is 8,000 pounds and it sleeps up to 5 people. Gray tank capacity is 37 gallons, black tank holds 24 gallons, and the freshwater tank holds 40 gallons. When you first walk into this Class C RV, on the right-hand side, you'll find the driver's cab and over cab. Then we wrap on around through the dinette and kitchen area. Behind me on my right is the bed, and to my left is the bathroom. Now, our first impression when we walk into this camper is that it feels really great in here, even though there are no slide outs. Part of the reason for that is because of the lighter decor that they've chosen to use in here. We have sort of a light gray cabinetry, some two-tone cabinetry too. The upper cabinets are white, the floor is like a lighter gray, and so those lighter colors help to make things feel larger in here. Also, there's a lot of windows, so it lets in a lot of light, and that makes things feel bigger too. And finally, the bathroom is in the rear instead of in the middle, which would be called a mid-bath. And the rear baths tend to feel much larger and open than the mid-bath models. But they both have their advantages and disadvantages, so you just have to consider what works best for you. Now, starting up front here, this particular model sits on a Chevy chassis. Plenty of leg room up front. When I'm sitting in the seat, I can put it all the way in the back position without crashing into the dinette. So you can max out your leg room up here. And there's also a nice size screen for GPS and all that good stuff. Over top here, we have a very large over cab area. Pretty much runs from side to side on this RV. So the full length of it is 8 feet exactly. But the first 16 inches are actually a storage area that you can lift up. You can store a few things under here. You've got a couple of cup holders on the other end. But really, if you put your pillows up on there, it'll kind of make your bed longer so you can use all of the space. Also, we have a window on the far end and a vent up top here so you can get plenty of airflow. Sometimes when you're up in the upper cab, it can get kind of hot. So this allows plenty of airflow up here. In addition, we've got a TV arm that'll swing out off the wall. While it's in this position though, you can lay in bed and watch TV very easily, or you can swing it out a bit and see the TV from the dinette, and you could swing it out even more and be able to see the TV from the back where the bed is, but you'll see that in just a few minutes as we work on through the tour. There's also a ladder that mounts right here, so it makes it real easy to climb up into the over cab bunk. You don't have to climb up on the dinette booth to get up there, although I'm sure the kids will try. And they actually have a weight rating on this overcab bunk. It's the first time I've ever seen one, but it can hold as much as 800 pounds. So a couple of adults, maybe 4 adults could fit up here, but definitely 2. And a couple of kiddos could sleep up here as well. Now, they don't have a mesh piece that goes on the front of this and then seat belts in or attaches to the ceiling to hold the kiddos in bed overnight. So you have to think about, if the kids are going to be sleeping up here, you probably have to make your own little system so that they don't roll out of bed overnight. Or if they're older, maybe you don't have to worry about that at all. There's also a couple of USB ports here at the head of the bed, so if you do need to plug in any electronic devices overnight, you can certainly do that as well. Now, just behind the driver's seat is where the dinette area is located, and starting from up top here, they have these really nice big cabinets. The hardware is in place to hold the doors in the open position so you can access your items with 2 hands. Plenty of space up there. It's really just one big wide cabinet that's accessible through all 3 of these doors. Underneath of here, we do have a couple of lights that you can turn on and off at location, and that's a great feature because this can also convert into a bed, but it's got a nice big window over top of the dinette, so if you like having that open, airy feeling, this is really terrific. The dinette itself, like I just mentioned, can drop down, and this will convert into a bed, and if you were to do that, you would end up with a bed that's about, I'll call it 71 inches and 42 inches wide, so you could definitely get another kiddo here or a smaller adult even. Down below on the benches, there is an outlet underneath, so if you wanted to sit here and work on your computer, you can plug it in and charge it or whatever you need to do there. Or if you just need to put another appliance, kitchen appliance over here and plug it in, you could do that too. Now, both of the dinette booths have storage underneath, and they are fully extendable drawers that pull out, so it makes accessing anything you store under here really nice and easy to get to. I also want to point out that there are a couple of car seat tether points in this booth. They're both on the back side of this, and so you could put 2 car seats in here if you have 2 little ones that you're going camping with. But it's nice to have those tether points available, keep everybody safe and sound. Now, on the kitchen side of this unit, this is what's known as an inline kitchen. Everything's in a line. It's a very efficient use of space, and it's a great way to design a kitchen in a smaller camper like this. But up top and over top of the entry door, it's very, very common to also have a cabinet in this spot. And this is great. This is for things that you would use every day right outside in your own campsite. You might store citronella candles, lighters, sunglasses, suntan lotion, bug spray, bear spray, whatever you need here, so it's easily accessible when you go outside. We throw rain ponchos and umbrellas and all kinds of stuff in our cabinet over top of the door. Now, next to that, we have a very large cabinet here with a shelf built in the middle, some more open storage over top of the microwave, and again, it's got the nicer hardware in here that holds the door open. Some units don't do that, and then the door slams back down, and you end up holding the door with one hand and getting stuff out with the other. It's okay, it's just you need to know that stuff. Then we have a convection microwave oven here, and below that a really nice range hood with light and fan. There's also a good sized window over top of the countertop. We also have propane burners here that they mounted front to back instead of side to side, so it does give us a little bit more countertop space. They chose to center this over top of the drawers, which looks pretty, but practically speaking, I wish they had moved it over, because then it would create even more countertop space that you could use. Countertop space on the right of the burners could be, you know, marginal at best. There's also no plugs over here to plug anything in, so if you had more countertop space, you'd actually have to run a little extension cord over to the side of the cabinet where there's an outlet. Speaking of the side of the cabinet, there's also an extendable countertop here, so you do gain some countertop space that way. The kitchen sink is a really nice size square sink. It's got a nice gooseneck faucet overhead with an integral faucet as well, or integral sprayer as well, so that makes washing your dishes nice and easy. If you put this on the sprayer though when you're washing your dishes, I guarantee you're gonna make a mess pretty quick, because I've done it myself. Right, honey? Underneath of the sink, there's a lot of room for storage. We have a bank of 3 drawers here for all of your kitchen utensils. Just next to the microwave, we will find the refrigerator and freezer. And starting up top, this is a great size freezer. You could get a bag of ice in here, plus a lot of other frozen items as well. And the refrigerator here is a very good size too. Just below that, we've got another little storage cabinet. And then this area here is where all of your breakers and fuses are. Some of the fuses that are in here are just like the ones that are in your car. So what I do is just keep a multi-pack in our rig, and that way if we ever blow one of these little fuses, I have one on hand so I can replace it. Now here we are back behind the refrigerator, and I'm on the bed that's back here. And a couple of things to note back here. We have all these nice white cabinets around, lots and lots of storage space for all your clothes in here, which is really great. A couple of overhead lights, plus you've got a couple of reading lights back here that turn on and off right at the location, so that's a terrific feature. We also have a window on the side that can open, and a nice big window on the back that's fixed. I wish it opened up, but it doesn't. But at least it lets a lot of light in here, and that seems to be a big part of the theme of this Class C RV, is plenty of windows to be able to see outside of your rig. Now on my left here, there is an outlet on the wall and some USB ports and even a little cargo mesh so you could pop your phone in there if it charges overnight. There's also another 12-volt port up here as well, and that's really it as far as electronics goes. Now let's get a size of this bed. And this one is 80 inches long, and as far as the width goes, Man, I thought I was being all fancy with my tape. It's 55, we'll call it 55 inches wide, and so this will be considered a residential full-size bed. At least you have the full 80 inches in length to be able to sleep here comfortably without someone's legs or feet having to hang over off the end of the mattress. Across from the bed, we have this mirrored wardrobe cabinet up top with a bar up there so you can hang your garments, and down below that we have a few more drawers for even more storage. Now here I am in the bathroom, and I'm standing in the shower like I usually do. You guys know, if you've seen any of our videos, I am 5'11" and weigh about $190 most of the time. But standing here in the shower, let's check out some of our headroom and what the size of the shower is. Now from the shower base up into the skylight, wow, we have 6 feet 7 inches of space. The ceiling height throughout the entire RV is 6 feet 7 inches long. So you have a pretty good shower in here. Now the width of the shower is about 22 inches. And, well, the depth of it is, and the width of it is 36, so pretty good size shower. Now in the back corner here, there are 3 shelves that are set up for soap and shampoo, and then they went and installed a shower curtain here. I do not like shower curtains. I would much prefer to see a retractable shower door in here. That way you're not fighting the curtain while you're taking a shower, because it'll stick to you and all that good stuff. Outside of the shower, we've got a really nice medicine cabinet here, so you can stow away all your personal items. Down below that, we've got a vanity sink, a little countertop space. There is an outlet on the side of the cabinet, so you could plug in a blow dryer or hair dryer or whatever you need. And then there's additional storage down below the sink. Now here I am sitting on the commode like I usually do, and with the door shut, even with me sitting here, it still feels roomy and spacious in here. This is a decent sized bathroom. Obviously, I'm not going to pass the elbow test on my left, but on my right, once I get up and over the sink, I've got plenty of room. So here we are outside of this Class C RV, and on my left-hand side, right next to the entry door, there is a small storage compartment here. Then we have an electrical outlet on the outside too, so that's a nice feature to have. A lot of folks like to set up a table out here and cook breakfast outside and all, so you do have some electricity to be able to do that. And then towards the back of this Class C, we have this really large storage compartment. It will hold a whole lot of backpacks, way more than what's in here now. We're actually at an RV show, and all the sales reps throw their backpacks in the back of these RVs to hold them somewhere while they're working. But as you can see, there's plenty of room for storage on the camp side of your RV, so you can pull your gear right out and set it right up. Hey guys, before we review the next RV, I just wanted to take a minute and share with you something that saved us a ton of stress and money while we've been on the road, and that's our extended warranty through Wholesale Warranties. We've had our warranty for over 3 years now, and honestly, it's been awesome. And here's why. Number one, we have a low $200 deductible, so we never get surprised by big repair bills. Number two, we can use any repair shop we want, and that includes mobile RV techs, so we get covered no matter where we are. Number three, the claims process just couldn't be quicker and easier, so it lessens our frustration. And number four, they cover just about every kind of rig, motorhome, fifth wheel, travel trailer, you name it, they got you covered. And they cover new and used RVs, so no matter what, you can make sure you're covered. And their warranties are transferable, so when you sell your rig, it actually adds value to your sales price. So if you want peace of mind every time you hit the road, just check out Wholesale Warranties like we did. All you need to do is hold your camera up to the QR code on the screen, or check the link down below in the description. Head on over to Wholesale Warranties and you can get a free quote for your RV to see which plan fits your RV the best. All right, let's move on to the next RV review. This Class C RV is the Forest River Forester, model number 2151 SLE. It has an MSRP starting at $127,345, but you can pick up this RV for just under $80,000. The gross vehicle weight rating is 12,300 pounds. Cargo carry capacity is 3,748 pounds, and we have a gross combined weight rating of 20,000 pounds. The length on this RV is 25 feet long, tow capacity is 5,000 pounds, and it can sleep up to 5 people. The gray tank holds 39 gallons, black tank also holds 39 gallons, and the freshwater tank holds 44 gallons. When you first walk into this Class C RV, on the right-hand side, you'll find the driver's cab and the overcab. Then we wrap on around through the dinette and kitchen areas. Back here on my right is the bedroom, and on my left is the bathroom. Now, our first impression when we walked into this RV is that, man, it seems like it's longer than 25 feet. It's just so nice and open from front to back. And that's what makes it feel so big and spacious in here. One of the reasons that they've created some space in here is they've made this slide out on the sidewall here, which takes the dinette out not that far. It's only like about 1.5 feet, almost 2 feet, about 21 inches. So it does make a difference in terms of getting us more floor space in here for sure. Now on the right-hand side here, you have your driver's cab. This particular Class C RV sits on a Chevy pickup truck chassis. And that's one of the things we look for with the Class C RV. Is it on a pickup truck chassis or a van chassis? Used to be all pickup trucks. Now they blur the lines a little bit. I think COVID made that happen because they had a shortage of pickup truck chassis. So they started using van chassis in Class Cs, and I don't know, the whole thing got kind of convoluted. But anyway, this is a true Class C RV because it sits on a pickup truck chassis and it's got this quintessential overcab area here for sleeping. Now the overcab that's up here is pretty cool. It's got a lot of headroom overhead here. I mean, you're talking 28, 29 inches. So you could almost sit up in bed pretty comfortably in here, I would think. Now, as far as the mattress size up here goes, we have 80 inches of space, and then on the depth, we're at about 57 inches. So it's almost a residential queen size bed. If it was 60 inches by 80 inches, it would be a residential queen. A couple cool features though is at the head of the bed here, we have these removable covers, and you can stow some things away in here. There's also a couple of USB ports, so you can plug in any electronics. You can lay in bed up here at the head of the bed and then face the TV that's down here on a swing arm. Now this swing arm's locked into position, so I'm not going to mess with it. We're at an RV show. So you could lay in bed at night and watch TV, or you could swing it out and get a better view from the dinette as well. Here we are at the dinette. This is a classic U-shaped dinette that you'll find in a lot of Class C RVs. Up top here, you've got these 3 cabinets overhead that allow for plenty of storage. Also, they have this terrific hardware in here. The door stays up when you put it up, so you can use 2 hands to access your gear. And then when you close the door, some of them slam shut, but these have a soft close technology built in. So that's really a great feature as well. Underneath of here, there's an LED strip light that you can use to light up your dinette area. There's also a couple of USB ports and an electrical outlet. So if you need to charge a device or anything while you're sitting at the dinette, you could even pop it into your little cargo net holder right here. But if you need to have your computer set up, you're using this as a workstation, you've got a place to plug in for that as well. Now this dinette will seat 3 people pretty comfortably. You really can't get 4 here. Somebody would have to sit out here on the floor with a separate chair to be able to get a 4th person at this table. But the dinette will convert into a bed. So you can drop the table down, rearrange the cushions, and then you'll have yourself another bed in here. So if you did that, it would be about 73 inches long and about, I would say, 42 inches wide. So that's a decent sized bed. You know, a smaller adult, definitely a kid, would be able to sleep here with no problem. Also, underneath of the dinette, there is storage on both sides. The way these little doors work, it'd be really hard to access things that are under there. You'd have to get some kind of a really long tote to be able to pull in and out of there, maybe. I don't know, but it could be a little bit of a hassle getting things under there. So just store stuff under there you don't use very often. Now across from the dinette, we have our kitchen set up here. This is called an inline kitchen. It just means all of your kitchen features are in a line. It's the most efficient way to use or set up a kitchen in a small space. But before we cover that, over top of the entry door, almost every Class C will have a cabinet up here for you. And our Class C is no different. In our cabinet, we store all kinds of stuff that we would use, you know, in and out of the RV. So we might have bug spray, suntan lotion, bear spray, rain ponchos, maybe an umbrella, extra lighters, all that kind of stuff really works well right here for storage. You've got all your controls here as well, so that's conveniently located for you. Then we have lots of storage up top here, and they've got this built-in shelf to hold some things for you as well. I'm not a big fan of this built-in shelf because it only is the back half of the cabinet, so I feel like you're going to lose some storage space in here. I'd much rather see some adjustable shelving so you can make it fit based on what it is you have. That would be the most efficient way to do it. But nonetheless, you have a lot of space up here. Below that, we've got our range hood with a light and fan, another LED strip light over here, and then your light controls for the RV are also mounted here and under here, so your lighting is pretty convenient for you as well. Now, we do have a 3-burner cooktop in here. That's a nice big cooktop. I like the way they did the side and backsplash in here. That'll help prevent any grease splatter from getting up onto your trailer walls, and it'll just help everything stay neater and cleaner. This is much easier to clean than your trailer walls are. And then next to that, we have a square single bowl sink. Nice looking faucet with a sprayer on there, and then we even have a tower of power here so you can plug in maybe a coffee pot or toaster. Now, we're kind of out of countertop space. That's just how it is in these smaller RVs, but they do have an extend-a-top here that you can put out, and then you can set up your coffee pot and toaster and all that stuff there if you'd like to. I would personally set up a margarita machine, and I don't even have to come all the way in. I can just open the door, refill my margarita, and off I go. Underneath of the kitchen sink, there's additional storage. There's also a drawer down bottom you can use. And then we have a convection microwave down here, so you can bake or microwave, with another storage drawer below that. Right next to where your cooktop is located is where your fridge and freezer are. This is a nice size freezer up top. Very good size refrigerator down below. So you could get away for a fantastic weekend of camping and stay fully stocked with food. So here I am on the bed in the back of this Class C RV. This reminds me of our Class C that we have at home. It's just the very, very typical Class C floor plan where you have a bed back here in the back corner. Just like our RV, we have cabinets all around top in an L shape, plenty of room to store all of your clothes up there. You've also got a window here on the side that you can open up and get some nice cross breeze through. You do have a window on the back, but that's just a fixed window. It does not open or close. Also, your TV would mount right here on the wall at the foot of the bed. Perfect location to be able to lay in bed and watch TV and drift to sleep at night. Now, on each end of the head of the bed, there are these little end tables, for lack of a better term, which is great because they're up and away from the bed, so they are really out of the way. You'll also notice that there's a reading light here as well. Each reading light also has a USB port built into it, so if you needed to plug your phone in overnight and let it charge on your end table, you can just plug it right into your reading light and take care of that. On the other side of the bed, there is actually an electrical outlet here as well, so if you needed that, it's available for you too. Now let's see what size bed we have in here. Jump up real quick and get some measurements. So this bed is going to be 80 inches by, kind of feel like it's going to be 54. No, it's 60. It surprised me. So this is a residential queen size bed that's in here, and that is absolutely terrific. There's also some storage underneath of the bed area, but we'll take a look at that when we go outside to wrap up the tour. Now, as far as the storage area goes in here, we have this nice big wardrobe closet here that you could use. There's I guess a bar of sorts up top that you can use to hang all of your garments, and then there's still room down below that for additional storage. And then there's a drawer here at the bottom that you could use for even more storage. Now, you may have noticed that a third of the bathroom is out here instead of in there. And they do that for a couple of reasons. In these Class C RVs, it's very hard to make the doorway work when you pull the bathroom door up to here. It also gets in the way of the slide out. So what they did to make up for all those moving parts is just put your bathroom sink out here along with your medicine cabinet, and then your toilet and shower are in the bathroom. Some folks may not like the look of this. I don't personally, it's not my thing, but there is an advantage to it. If someone's in there taking a shower or using the bathroom, you know, your partner can still be out here brushing their teeth, getting ready, and all that good stuff. So in that way, it works out really, really well. Now, up top here, you've got a really nice sized medicine cabinet with a mirror, and then we have an outlet right below that. So if you need to plug in, you know, your shaver, your blow dryer, whatever, you can do that. Now, I have a shaver, right? I have to trim my beard And I would never plug in there. Mine's a, you know, it's a rechargeable kind. I do all my trimming outside. Let me know how you trim your beard, all you beard wearing guys. If I trimmed my beard inside, there would be hair everywhere and Susan would kill me. So I just take my little electric trimmer and go outside and do it. Let me know in the show notes how you handle it. Now, the sink that's here is a very good sized sink, a little bit of countertop space around it, and then down below the sink, there's a little storage there too. So here we are in the bathroom, and I'm standing in the shower like I always do. You guys know I'm 5'11", and I weigh about $190. So here I am in the shower. You can see what it would be like for me. I would stand this way to take a shower personally and grab my shower wand and use it however I need to. If you stand this way, I find that my shoulders hit the wall and the shower curtain, and that's because these showers are only 22 inches deep. In fact, this one's 22 inches deep, and it's probably about 32 wide, which it is. Very standard size for a Class C RV. Now, the height in the shower goes from the shower base up into the skylight, and you have about 6 feet 4 inches of ceiling height there. The ceiling height throughout the entire RV is about 6 feet 5 inches. So you combine that with the fact that you have an 80-inch residential queen-size bed, and so for taller RVers, this may be a good choice for you if you're looking for a good, inexpensive Class C RV. Now, they also put the nice shower surround in here. There are 4 shelves in here that you can use for soap and shampoo, and then they put this retractable shower door in here, which I love. I think these are the way to go. You don't have to worry about a shower curtain sticking to you or falling outside of the shower and all that good stuff. Now, there's no towel hooks or anything in here except for a couple that are on the back of the door. But, you know, this is probably more of a family camper, right? It might be 2 adults, 2 kids, maybe a couple grandkids, I don't know. But you could use some more towel hooks in here. You can easily mount them on the wall. We have a really cool towel holder that we use in our Class A RV that holds up to 4 towels, and they can all spread out and dry really nicely, or you can fold them up against the wall and put them out of the way. So I'll throw a link to that in the description down below if you'd like to check that out. Now, when I sit on the commode in here, even with the door closed, you know, it feels spacious enough. I don't feel too cramped in here. Certainly, I'm not going to pass the elbow test on my left, but I've got plenty of room on the right-hand side. So here we are outside of this RV, and they have a couple of storage compartments here that are actually underneath the queen bed inside. One of them is right here. It's a great spot because it's on the campsite of your RV, so when you're unloading your gear, you're right here to go ahead and set it up. And then the back storage compartment is even larger, and that's a pass-through storage that goes from one side to the other, and there's another door on the other side for you to be able to access all of your camping gear. 3 great reasons to join our private Facebook group called RV Camping for Newbies. Number 1, when you join and share your email address, you'll get a free subscription to RV Today e-magazine. It's full of tips, inspiration, and real stories from real RVers on the road. Number 2, you'll get our weekly newsletters. Our newsletters are full of great RV info, how-to articles, giveaways, and our exclusive video reviews to help you make the most of your RV life. Number 3, you'll be part of our amazing community of over 250,000 RVers. Even though we're called RV Camping for Newbies, this group really is for everyone, and the experienced RVers love helping out the newbies. So we can all join in the group, share our favorite camping spots, gear, and travel tips. So click the QR code on the screen or head down to the link in the description below so you can join RV Camping for Newbies today. We look forward to seeing you inside the group. This Class C RV is the Gulfstream Conquest, model number 6220LE. The MSRP on it is $127,604, but as you can see, the show price comes in just under $80,000. The gross vehicle weight rating is 12,500 pounds, cargo carry capacity is 4,250 pounds, and the gross combined weight rating is not available. The length is 24 feet, tow capacity is 7,500 pounds, and it sleeps up to 5 people. The gray tank capacity is 38 gallons, black tank holds 24 gallons, and the freshwater capacity is 38 gallons. When you first walk into this Class C RV, on your right-hand side is where the driver's cab and overcab are located. Then we wrap on around through the dinette and kitchen area. Behind me here on my left is the bed, and behind me here on the right is the bathroom. Now, our first impression when we walked into this RV is that it feels really nice in here. It's got a great interior. I love the wood tones, but it also has a lighter feel to it, so it makes it feel nice and big and airy in here. Starting with the driver's cab area, this is on a Chevy chassis, which is terrific. It's an American-made product. It's easy to get parts and find people to work on your RV if you need them to. If you go with a Mercedes chassis, one of the biggest disadvantages is the price for service and trying to find parts and service locations. But your Ford and your Chevy chassis, you should do fine. Up top of here, we have a overcab bunk, and it's a pretty good size. The thing I like the most about it is the amount of headspace that's in here, or ceiling height. It's about 28 inches, so a good amount of space up there. Now, the width of this bed, it's going to run from one end to the other. It's going to be right around 8 feet. This one's about 8 feet 2 inches. And then the depth on this, I'm going to guess, is 48 inches, and I'm wrong, it's 47 inches. So 2 adults, though, could sleep very, very comfortably up here. Certainly a couple of kids could sleep up here as well. And they even have this mesh cargo netting that's fit on here, and there's a belt buckle that straps up in each corner, and that way if your kids are sleeping up here, they won't roll out of bed on you overnight. Now, there's also a couple of USB ports on this side of the bunk, as well as a light switch that controls these 2 lights up top. And then on the other end of the bunk, we have a nice sized TV that can swing out so you can see that from your dinette location as well. Now, just behind the driver's seat is where the dinette is located. And starting up top over the dinette, you've got these three big cabinet doors up top. I mean, they're huge. Comes with the nicer hardware that holds them up and in place for you, but it's really one big cabinet with 3 doors, so it's easy to access everything in there. Underneath, we have a couple of lights here that can turn on and off right at the location, which is a nice feature. And then we have a very large oversized window over top of the dinette table, which a lot of folks like a lot of window space in their RV, and this certainly fits the bill for that. Now, the dinette that's here can easily seat 4 people very, very comfortably, and it's a very, very comfortable dinette booth. And there is storage underneath both of the dinette booths, and Gulfstream went the extra mile with their storage. Usually there's just a piece of plywood under the dinette booth that you lift up. This one has a nice hinge built with it, so it's very easily, and it's all finished, so you don't have any rough edges to get splinters on your hands and stuff like that. So they did a really great job with it all. Now, this tabletop will drop down so that you can convert your dinette into a bed. And if you were to do that, you would end up with a bed that is about, I'll call it 68 inches, and the width on it is going to be about 42 inches. So a kid or 2 small kids would be able to sleep there. Maybe one smaller sized adult would make it as well. There is a receptacle underneath of the dinette here as well. So if you're working at your dinette table, maybe you need to plug in your computer to recharge it or something, you can do that. Or let's say, I don't know, you have a kitchen appliance you want to have over here on your table because you're making margaritas for everybody. You can plug that in under your table as well. On the kitchen side, over top of the entry door here, we have a storage compartment, which is very, very common in Class C RVs to have some storage over top of the entry door. I like the fact that this one has a light that lights over top of the door, so that's really a nice feature. We keep stuff in ours like, you know, bug spray, suntan lotion, lighters, all that kind of stuff. Stuff that you use while you're heading outside is a perfect spot for that storage compartment. Then you have some of your controls here as well, very conveniently located. Over top here in the kitchen area, we have a really nice big cabinet with a fixed shelf in the middle. A little bit of storage over top of the microwave. Microwave oven is a very good size for this size camper. And then under that, we have our range hood with fan and light. And then another outlet here that you can plug into, and a light over top of your sink. Now, the sink is a really great size. This is a big square, pretty deep bowl sink. It's got a nice gooseneck faucet overhead with an integral sprayer to make washing your dishes even easier. And then they went and put the 2-burner propane stove in here, front to back burners instead of side to side. And that gains us some precious countertop room here for maybe a coffee pot or toaster in the morning. crock pot during the day, whatever it is that you need to use, you do have a little bit of countertop space in here to be able to use it. There's also additional storage underneath of the kitchen sink, and there's a large pots and pans drawer here under the burners. Now, just beyond the burners and the microwave is where your refrigerator and freezer are located. This is a great size fridge for this size rig. I mean, there's plenty of room in here for all your cold storage, and it has a very large freezer as well. You could throw a whole bag of ice in here, still have plenty of room for pizzas or whatever else you want to throw up there. Just across from the refrigerator, we have some pantry storage here. Now, this is only about 6 inches deep, but there's plenty of room in here to store, you know, all kinds of canned goods, boxed goods, whatever foods you need for dry storage right here. And it's very convenient because it's accessible to the rest of the kitchen. Now, here we are in the back bedroom, and this has an east-west bed. That just means it goes side to side in here. And the big advantage of this kind of bed in here is you can walk around it. I can walk around the bed on this side. The other person can get out of bed on that side. And if you need to get up in the middle of the night and use the restroom, chances are you're not going to wake your partner up. So that's a really nice feature to have. This bed also sits in a slide out, so it does create a lot of extra room in the bedroom. It does have some cabinetry overhead for some small storage items, and it's got a couple lights under that. These turn on and off at location, so you can use them as reading lights. There's also a small window on each side at the head of the bed, so you can get a little cross breeze and ventilation through. The bed itself, let's get a measurement on this. This one's going to be coming in at about 74 inches, and I think it's 60 inches wide, and it is. So this will be considered a short RV queen-sized bed, plenty of room, and very, very nice for a very comfortable night's sleep. Now, there are a couple of USB ports in the middle of the bottom of the cabinetry. There's also an outlet on the base of the bed on each side. And then on the back of the RV here, we also have a window here that opens up, and it has a screen. Even though it's an emergency window, you can still use it as a regular window and get plenty of ventilation in here. There's also a fan up on the ceiling, so if you want to pop the top, turn the fan on, you can get some nice airflow in here for sure. One last thing to note on this side of the bed is that this is where your TV would be mounted on the wall. You've got an outlet and some cable hookups above, so you can mount your TV and then be able to watch TV very comfortably while you drift off to sleep at night. Now, one thing I mentioned about this bed is that it does sit in a slide out, and so it has to slide into the room, and the slide out is, you know, we'll call it 30 inches. And I don't have 30 inches here for the bed to move forward. So what happens when you bring your slide in? Well, you have to grab the mattress and just flip it over, and then the whole entire slide out comes in, and this part of the bed mattress ends up right here at the front of the platform. Now, the important thing to know about this is if you are on a longer trip, let's say you're driving 10 hours away or 12 hours away, and you do half the drive today and half the drive tomorrow, and you need to spend the night somewhere, but you don't want to waste your money at a campground because you're just going to spend the night and leave first thing in the morning. You might crash at a Cracker Barrel or a Walmart. If you do, you might see us there. We do that all the time. Well, the important thing to know is if the slide is in, you can't use your bed. So if you go to a Cracker Barrel or a Walmart, typically you're allowed to put your slide out. Just make sure you're allowed to, because that's what allows you to be able to use the entire bed. Now, Susan and I just switched spots. She's on the other side of the bedroom. I just wanted to show you, you also have some storage in your bedroom area. This is a nice, really big wardrobe closet up top here. It's got a bar up top so you can hang all your garments there, and then it has a really nice deep drawer for even more storage. Now, here we are in the bathroom of this Class C RV. You guys know I'm 5'11", and man, I got lots of room over top of my head in here. Let's get some measurements and see what we're dealing with. From the shower base up into the skylight, man, we've got 6 feet 8 inches of headroom. The ceiling height throughout the entire RV is about 6 feet 9 inches. And so for you taller folks, hey, this might not be a bad rig to consider. Now, the shower in here I think is really, really great. They have this really cool looking shower surround in here. and then you have a detachable shower wand. Now this is a lower entry model RV, and so it has a shower curtain, but you can easily upgrade this on your own. You can buy a retractable shower door instead of having a curtain, which I highly recommend. If you're in here with a shower curtain, it's going to be stuck to you while you're taking a shower. The shower is just not big enough to avoid that situation, and so a retractable shower door eliminates that from happening. And if you go camping with the grandkids or your kids, depending on how old they are, if the shower curtain ends up outside of the shower, like happened to us one time, you're going to have a lot of water on the floor in your bathroom. So that's another great reason to get a retractable shower door. I'll put a link in the show notes or the description down below, and that way if you want to get a retractable shower door, you can do that. Now here I am on the other side of the bathroom, and Susan is standing in the shower, and they have a nice vanity set up here. It's a corner style setup, so it kind of makes the most of the space. Up top here we have a nice big mirrored medicine cabinet, and inside of here you have plenty of room for all of your personal items to be stowed away. The sink is a very good size vanity sink, and there's a little bit of countertop space still left around that. Plus we have an outlet here so you can plug in your hair dryer or curling iron or shaver if you need to. And then underneath of the sink there's a little additional storage there too. Here I am sitting on the commode in the bathroom, and even with the door shut, it feels like I have plenty of room in here. I don't feel cramped at all. And as far as the elbow test goes with the door closed, I can pass on both sides. So here we are outside of this RV, and there is a storage compartment on the campsite of the RV, but it's very, very little. I kind of wish they had put a little bit bigger door in here because I don't really know what you're going to be able to get in and out of here. There's also a storage compartment that's pretty small on the other side of the RV. It's locked, so I can't show it to you. It's about that wide and that tall, so you can get a few things in there as well. So most of your storage in this unit is going to happen on the inside. Grill, chairs, anything that's bigger, you're going to have to store it inside while you're in travel mode, and then bring it outside to set up your campsite when you reach your destination. There is also a shower port here on the outside of this rig. It is on the camp side of the RV. I much prefer to see them on the back or on the other side, because if you go to shower off here or rinse off one of your kids or your dog or your, one of your bikes or something like that, I don't like to be on the campsite of the RV and get everything all wet. So, but there's also advantages to having it on this side. If you need a water source on the campsite of your RV, well, there it is. So it just depends how you camp and what your preferences are. Hey guys, let us know which one of these RVs you like the most and why in the comments down below. We would love to hear from you, and we try to read and answer every comment. And if you want to check out even more RV reviews, just click the box on the screen right now, and Susan and I will see you in the next video.